Jai Sai Ram, Sri Sai Satcharitra, Chapter 10, Part 1. Sai Baba's Mode of Life, His Sleeping Board, His Stay in Shirdi, His Teachings, His Humility, the Easiest Path. Remember him always with love, for he was engrossed in doing good to all, and always abided in his self. To remember him only is to solve the riddle of life and death. This is the best and easiest of sadhanas, as it involves no expenditure. A little exertion here brings great reward. So long as our senses are sound, we should minute by minute practice this sadhana. All other gods are illusory. Guru is the only God. If we believe in Sadguru's holy feet, he can change our fortune for the better. If we serve him nicely, we get rid of our samsara. We need not study any philosophy like the Nyaya and the Mimamsa. If we make him our helmsman, we can easily cross over the sea of all our pains and sorrows. As we trust the helmsman in crossing rivers and seas, so we have to trust our Sadguru in getting over the ocean of earthly existence. The Sadguru looks to the intense feeling and devotion of his devotees, endows them with knowledge and eternal bliss. In the last chapter, Baba's mendicancy and devotees' experiences and other subjects are dealt with. Let the readers now hear where and how Baba lived, how he slept, and how he taught, etc. Baba's wonderful bedstead. Let us first see where and how Baba slept. Mr. Nana Sahib Dengale brought for Sai Baba a wooden plank about 4 cubic in length and only a span in breadth for sleeping upon. Instead of keeping the plank on the floor and then sleeping on it, Baba tied it like a swing to the rafters of the masjid with old shreds or rags and commenced to sleep upon it. The rags were so thin and worn out that it was a problem how they could bear or support even weight of the plank itself, let alone the weight of Baba. But somehow or other, it was Baba's sheer leela that the worn-out rags did sustain the plank with the weight of Baba on it. On the 4 corners of the plank, Baba lighted panatis, earthen lamps, one at each corner, and kept them burning the whole night. It was a sight for the gods to see Baba sitting or sleeping on this plank. It was a wonder to all how Baba got up and down off the plank. Out of curiosity, many careful observers kept watching the process of mounting and dismounting, but none succeeded. As crowds began to swell so to detect the wonderful feat, Baba one day broke the plank into pieces and threw it away. Baba had all the 8 siddhis at his command. He never practiced nor craved for them. They came to him naturally as a result of his perfection. Sagun manifestation of Brahman. Though Sai Baba looked like a man 3 cubits and a half in length, still he dwelt in the hearts of all. Inwardly he was unattached and indifferent, but outwardly he longed for public welfare. Inwardly most disinterested, he looked outwardly full of desires for the sake of his devotees. Inwardly an abode of peace, he looked outwardly restless. Inwardly he had the state of Brahman. Outwardly he acted like the devil. Inwardly he had a state of Brahman. Outwardly he acted like a devil. Inwardly he loved Advaita. Outwardly he got entangled with the world. Sometimes he looked on all with affection, and at times he threw stones on them. Sometimes he scolded them, while at times he embraced them and was calm, composed, tolerant, and well balanced. He always abided and was engrossed in the self and was well disposed towards his bhaktas. He always sat on one asan and never travelled. His band was a small stick which he always carried in his hand. He was calm, being thought-free. He never cared for wealth and fame and lived on begging. Such a life he led. He always uttered, Allah Malik. God is the real owner. Entire and unbroken was his love for the bhaktas. He was the mine of storehouse for self-knowledge and full of divine bliss. Such was the divine form of Sai Baba, boundless, endless, undifferentiated. One principle was which enveloped the whole universe, from stone pillar to Brahman, incarnated in Sai Baba. The really meritorious and fortunate people got this treasure trove in their hands, while those people who, not knowing the real worth of Sai Baba, took him or to be a man or mere human being, were are indeed miserable. His stay in Shirdi and probable birth date. None knew or knows the parents or the exact birth date of Sai Baba, but it can be approximately determined by his stay in Shirdi. Baba first came to Shirdi when he was a young lad of 16 and stayed there for 3 years. Then all of a sudden he disappeared for some time. After some time he reappeared in the Nizam state near Aurangabad. And again he came to Shirdi with the marriage party of Chand Patil when he was 20 years old. Since then he stayed in Shirdi continuously for a period of 60 years, after which Baba took his Mahasamadhi in the year 1918. From this we can say that the year of Baba's birth is approximately 1938 AD. Baba's mission and advice. Saint Ramdas flourished in the 17th century and fulfilled to a great extent his mission of protecting cows and Brahmins against the Yavans. But within 2 centuries after him, the split between the two communities, Hindus and Mohammedans, widened again, and Sai Baba came to bridge the gulf. His constant advice to all was to this effect: Rama, the god of Hindus, and Rahim, the god of Mohammedans, were one and the same. There was not the slightest difference between them. Then why should the devotees should quarrel among themselves? You ignorant folk, children, join hands and bring both the communities together. Act sanely, and thus you will gain your object of national unity. It's not good to dispute and argue. So don't argue, don't emulate others. Always consider your interest and welfare. The Lord will protect you. Yoga, sacrifice, penance, and knowledge are the means to attain God. If you do not succeed in this by any means, vain is your birth. If anyone does this, any evil unto you, do not retaliate. If you can do anything, do some good unto others. This, in short, was Sai Baba's advice to all, and this will stand in good stead both in material and spiritual matters. Jai Sai Ram.